Yo, 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 what's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Nick the Great coming at you with another live. You already know if you're new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. To all the returning friends and family, you already know it's peace and blessings. Give y'all some time to tune in. I see some of y'all done tuned in already. Mad, what's going on, my guy? Keith, what's going on, my guy? See y'all in here. Anita, what's going on, baby? Sirius, what's going on, baby? James, what's going on, my guy? Jersey, what's going on? I see y'all up in here. You already know first things first. TGIF again. Hopefully everybody had a blessed and productive day. Hopefully everybody was able to get through the work day. Hopefully everybody gonna have a blessed weekend as well, no matter what you got planned. Appreciate everybody that tuned in earlier for the conversation. Shout outs to Harry for popping in on the channel. Shout outs to world famous Charlie, and shout outs to the Word for popping in earlier for the discussion. Missed it, catch the replay. Um, Tonight ain't no different. Um, we got to get to a common denominator when it comes to what should be left out. Um, Sorry, things that should be left out as far as crime is concerned. No adults, as far as the elders, no kids, no women. Davis, what's going on, baby? I mean, it's time for that element to come back. Y'all already know there's been stories going on in certain situations. We getting too much of that. Young kids getting killed either because they got caught in the crossfire or simply trying to do something like probably try to help defend the family. Like, there's too much going on. Pardon the wind in the background. You already know the vibes. But again, it should never come to that. I say that because again, we have so many people that we've lost that who knows, they could have been future fighters for what's going on right now. Those people who died tragically, them kids that died tragically, could have been an important or a crucial part of the movement and a part of this war. And honestly, the only war we fighting right now, at least the main ones, trying to fight the war of division. Sorry, it's not really that much that divides us. Again, I'm gonna repeat that. It's not that much that divides us. For the stand-up ones, the ones that they know for a fact ain't tolerating that type of foulness to go on in their communities, y'all keep doing what y'all doing. Wouldn't care if you a street cat or a regular 9 to 5. If you one of those that are doing what you gotta do to try to somewhat keep your community safe, and you do what you gotta do. And keep doing it. You honestly need more people like that to really stand up against these evils and against everything that's killing us right now. No kid should have to worry about getting shot in the chest. No kid should have to worry about getting shot in the head. No kid should have to worry about dying, especially with a family. It's too much going on. There's so many senseless acts going on right now. Some of this is under our nose because we don't know who's who, if they disturbed, if they mentally disturbed. That's another thing. Another reason why, it's crucial to make sure these kids are protected. Because we know we got some people out there who they ain't playing with a full deck, but in the same token, they are bearing children. There are people who I feel for a fact shouldn't be bearing children because their mind is too weak, feeble, and it's too easy, for them to get a clear thought in their head to do something drastic. Y'all heard me believe this was last year. You heard me somewhat crying on this app because, again, you don't know who's who. Told you about the girl that drowned her kids. And of course, the first thing that was brought up, mental health. Same thing I said about the lady who drowned her kids in the bathtub. What happened? Mental health. See, these are people that, again, for a fact, if they've been through that system one way or another, you need to keep close eyes on them. Because, again, you don't know what could transpire. I've always said this and I meant this. Be careful of who you vetting out, trying to make your significant other or whatever. Get to know your neighbors for real. A lot of y'all need to start doing that. Getting to know your neighbors a little more. And if something don't seem right, hey, you need to act on it. This is why we get some of the stories we get now. And I'm sorry, but I wouldn't be able to call you a real parent if I know that's the way you think you got to do something. You got to harm your kids and that notion. And for what? Sorry. Um, Start making sure that these people in your neighborhoods, make sure they all getting the proper help. And some of these people go crazy and even harm and hurt their own kids because they really are stressed the hell out. They don't really have too many options as far as either friends that will literally sit down and talk with them, or they not just getting anything they feel they should be getting as far as some sort of help. They need it. Sorry, but they need it. If you see a parent under duress, this is the thing. Try to help them. Try to sit down and talk to them. But I would honestly tell a lot of them parents too, go get yourself some counseling. If you feel like it's getting too much to a point where you could possibly even think that level, nah, go get yourself some help. That's what you're gonna have to do. I'm sorry, but it's becoming too much of a pattern. You keep targeting the kids. If you ain't targeting the kids, you are targeting the elderly. Yeah, senseless crimes. There are effects to that. Anytime a parent harms their own kid or even kills their own kid, parent or step parent, there's an effect to that. Their immediate family is affected because this is something that they wasn't prepared for. Something that we gotta listen to. When you got kids that are being harmed, they're not being harmed by the parents, but they're being harmed in school, in their community, possibly being picked on. Nobody's, helping, or nobody's even trying to, diffuse certain situations. That could draw somebody to get crazy. See, I'm gonna be honest with you. The kids that really need the protection are the ones that don't see the attacks from afar or don't see it happen. There's some children you want to get them out the streets, but it ain't a guarantee that they're gonna get out the streets. The ones that are tied into the streets too toughly, they ain't gonna survive because there's no real guidance as far as, listen, you want to be in this, you want to have to go by this, you want to have to do this, use your mind. Nope. those kids, I feel bad for to some degree because again, they could possibly be here changing the course of the future in many different levels, but they decide this is the way they got to come up. It's been dragged in their head that this is the way life works. See, I'll be honest with you, this is more than just an announcement tonight. That's because I really feel it. I feel there are things that could possibly change, even if it is little by little. But it does take the right type of people to come into motion, and for real, you know, just love a process, man. Follow a process. Then from there, you figure out what you want to move. You know, you want to move everything in a great direction. Start helping where you need. Start helping where it's needed at. There are some parents who need help, and there are some parents who actually be out there crying for help, and they ain't getting that. They ain't getting it. But I would always tell those that are falling along the lines of any type of mental psychosis, trauma, disability, whatever. You know the risk of bringing kids into the world. So if you are not prepared to stand strong, if you're not prepared to take care of or do whatever is necessary for your offspring, then you need to seriously rethink having any type of a family until you know you're strong enough to do so. Didi, what's going on, baby? Miss T, what's going on, baby? Word, what's going on, my guy? I already know if y'all just tuned in at the like button. Um, I'm sorry because it's not saying, oh, don't have kids. Nobody's trying to tell you you're not supposed to reproduce. But I would say along those lines, for some of y'all, you're suffering from mental health one way or another. If you don't think it's the best possible option to procreate, then don't do so. At least not yet. Again, you want to have a strong mindset and you want to be able to say, all right, I'm doing what I got to do for me and mine. That's the most important thing. Again, nobody should have to worry about, you know, kids being harmed, abused, neglected. You have some parents who are out there, and I mean, they out there in space. We done seen stories where these people are having all these kids, and in the same token, almost every last one of them kids, one way or another, some form of a slave. Definitely appreciate you for dropping those links, serious baby. But I'm sorry, it's almost like a catch-22 because again, you can't tell somebody, nah, I don't have no kids. But if you want to have kids, you should be knowing of the not so much as dangers. You should be knowing what's required. And if you feel that's really a step that you want to go down, okay, then you got to get yourself mentally and physically, but also spiritually prepared. It's not going to be an easy task. And I'm sorry, but we got to start getting it to where these kids are not getting shot and killed. These babies are not getting shot and killed. Because it's not just the teens, it's not just the babies, it's the babies. Like, oh, I'm tired of hearing stories like that too. Y'all blazingly shooting and acting a fool. People getting hit in the crossfire. No 2-year-old should lose their life before time. Not a 1 year old, not a 3 year old, nothing. No kid should lose their life before anything. They shouldn't lose their life. They should be living their life. They should be able to live to their fullest extent. Nah, word. Look, some people definitely don't. But I'm saying it's impossible to tell them. It's, nah, I don't have no kids, motherfuckers. Like it's impossible. And then again, it's a two-way street because it takes two to tango. Some of y'all fellas is out here not giving a damn who you plunging in and none of that. Then you'll be upset when you get the situation of now you got a crazy ex, you got a crazy baby mama, stalker ex, so on and so forth. Yeah, but you was thinking too much along the lines of lust and not thinking along the lines of trust, loyalty, and community. I mean, communication. Serious. No, it's the truth. It's not like you can. It's not like you can tell anybody what to do with their bodies. You can try to give them advice. You should have to take a test before you. Yeah, it's a lot of things that could be done. Word, I'm not gonna lie, but that don't necessarily mean it's gonna happen. Um, but I've always said this, regardless to what, the kids shouldn't have to worry about harm from their parents. Shouldn't have to worry about harm from adults. They shouldn't have to worry about being in the midst of danger. Period. Now, I'm also gonna say this too. There's some people who are they getting their own families killed. They getting their own peoples lined up for the downfall. You know, it's sad though. I don't think again no child of any age circumstance should lose their life. I would also say that no elderly folks should ever have to worry about getting robbed or abused or possibly killed or sexually attacked or anything along those lines. We still getting stories like that. And the sad part about some of these cases that you see, almost every last one of them is linked to some sort of mental health crisis. So again, how is somebody able to just go through the cracks of society, go through the revolving door of society, if they just did something that was off the rip? I thought about some stories, even the most recent ones, and I'm like, it's sad that a lot of these people are attacking even the elderly folks. We ain't do that coming up. We be damn. We from that area where we be damn if we put our hands up. Let alone put our hands up to our parents. We gonna put our hands up to an elder, an actual person who's actually living by the elder standards and the codes. Nah, we ain't doing that. We not. These days, nobody don't give a damn. And again, some of this is linked, and it seems like it's always going to keep being linked to mental health. But then there's others who will lie and use that mental health card because they feel that's the way they're gonna escape, their judgment. Sad though. You did a crime. Hey, it's time for you to man up. Take it, face your responsibility. You can't sit here and harm people, even kill people, and thinking you're supposed to just get a slap on the wrist. Facts, Davis. But see, that's the thing though. Nobody should never even think along that level. You got some people out here who are running around in this earth because they broken spirits and they hurt. And hurt people, remember? Saddest thing about it all, hurt people. Again, no child should ever have to worry about not waking up the next day, not going to school, not none of that. They should be able to wake up, know that they got a safe home, knowing that they already got enough to deal with in this world, and knowing the plagues and the corruption. They should be able to have a decent home living. You don't gotta be all rich, no ritzy. As long as there's a roof over your head, clothes on your back, food in your stomach, supposed to be the most important thing. And no abuse happening. Those are supposed to be the things that stay out of the house. No violence. Like, oh, no child should have to worry about their mother or their father unless it's necessarily calls for discipline. They shouldn't have to worry about getting beat up or abused. You got some parents who are beating up on their kids like they people in the streets. Which again, that's the wrong way to go about it. Yeah, you discipline your child, but you don't put your hands on the child to where they bruised up, bandaged up. Their bones is not strong enough like that. Are you crazy? Karma does come around that board, especially when, again, you're hurting elders who may not be able to really defend themselves. You causing harm on kids that don't even fully know what's going on. I can remember a story where this couple got killed, and the sad part about it was there was two. They had the twins in the back. The twins wasn't probably even 2 years old. So just imagine that a family gets killed and only two survivors are the kids. And it's crazy because guess what? If that person decided they ain't care, they could have killed those kids too. You have situations where a person say, "I'm gonna kill this person. I'm gonna kill everybody." For what? What the hell do the kids got to do with your sick, twisted minds? What? Like that's the problem now with a lot of these people. They don't think. Again, you're thinking too emotional, too irrational. It's bad enough you killed an adult, but then you kill everything around it. Come on. Yeah, Davis, because they shot and killed the parents in their car. I don't know if they was at a traffic light or, but the twins was in the back. Like, and that's the saddest part in the world. You don't even know anything outside of you not going to see your mother or your father no more. You that young. And sometimes some of these tragedies they do stick with kids. And just imagine, you gotta literally try to see who's who because guess what? These are the only two victims to know or even point out who killed their parents. And they still don't even know what's fully going on. See, shit like that I don't like. These kids also gotta grow up without parents. Again, like what part of the game is this now? When almost everybody's a fucking target, including families. This is why I said it's good to try to get to know the people in your neighborhood, whether they live there long or not. Get to know who's who. Observe things. If shit don't seem right, you already know what it is. Kev, what's going on? Anti, what's going on, baby? And see, it's talks like this that I know people don't want to have. But at some point, we're going to have them. Because at what point, do we stop the violence? Do we stop the senselessness? When does it become a point that everything along those lines cease to exist? We know there's certain crimes that are never going to stop happening because it's been happening throughout the centuries, throughout the ages, probably well before we got here. Figure grant all of that. But there's other crimes that should never happen. Crimes against kids, women, and elderly folks shouldn't happen. Crimes against people who are regular, hard, 9 to 5 citizens shouldn't happen. I don't blame you, David. Sometimes you're going to have to. Because in this world right now, it's too much stuff going on. You got to make sure that you well and prepared for anything. Because again, you could be out with your family and people decide they want to be stupid and cause a scene, cause a fight. I come to find out, um, that situation I was telling y'all about the dude on the moped. Yeah, he was being chased, and because he did something he wasn't supposed to be doing. But I want people to understand this too. Those mopeds, yeah, I went off a little bit, but I'm still going on it. Those mopeds, those ain't motorcycles. Those ain't speedsters. Come to find out, the patrol car had hit the back of his thing, and that's how he crashed into somebody's car and stuff. See, if he wouldn't have did what he did, this wouldn't have happened in the first place. Here I was getting ready to say, yeah, this was an incident that the cops could have avoided, and they shouldn't have done. But then again, they was doing it for good purpose. You did something for them to be chasing you in the first place. Now, see that situation. Even if homie get himself right, you still probably in handcuffs because you did something. Don't get it twisted, y'all, because some of y'all be thinking, oh, I could get away with this crime, and if I get hurt, if I get injured, hey, it don't matter. They ain't gonna arrest me. Nah, they're gonna still arrest you. East Dad, what's going on? Hammer, what's going on, baby? Nah, they're gonna definitely still arrest you. Trust me. You're gonna be right sitting in those handcuffs, even probably while you in the ambulance, because you are a suspect. You ain't no victim, you are a suspect. So they will treat you as such. You're gonna be in a coma. You will still be handcuffed to that bed 9 out of 10, or being watched by yours truly, as far as those blue and whites. And again, I've always felt no harm on any level should come to no kids. No kid should be having to worry about a cold world where they can't trust nobody. This is why I keep bringing talks like this, because I feel it's necessary and needed. At some point, the people have to wake up and resonate to what's being said. It is a sad day when you hearing things along the lines of kids being shot and killed, elderly folks being robbed, shot and killed, all because certain people just they have this thing in their mind to just hurt. Yeah, because think about it. There are situations where there are people who are stealing cars, they doing things along the sorts they ain't supposed to be doing, and instead of them just standing up and facing their consequences, they want to run. But I've always said that cowards are the ones that's going to do shit, but initiate shit and then run. And it seems like that all the time. If you felt you was that gangster to do a crime, then you should be that gangster to take your consequences and punishment when you get caught. There should be no running. There should be none of that, huh? And that's the problem now again. We got this problem. We got too many people that don't want to take their responsibilities, take their accountabilities when they should. I'm sorry, you should always take an accountability for something you did. Harm somebody, yeah, you deserve to go to jail. Sorry, you do. Susanna, what's going on, baby? Yeah, because I've always felt like this. You know, you sat there and caused harm to somebody, possibly even killed them. And then instead of you just saying, damn, I messed up, or instead of your conscience hitting you, you just don't care. You'll keep continuing to do stuff until you get caught. That's good, Marianne, baby. Susanna. I know it's 9 o'clock in the morning over there, so shout outs to everybody that's really rocking with your boy around the world and just listening to the message that's needed because this is something all around the world. Kids should not have to worry about parents neglecting them, abusing them. If it's not that, they shouldn't have to worry about the society around them neglecting and abusing them or even harming them. Like, come on. You gotta have some sort of sense to say, nah, this ain't it. We done enough. We gotta stop doing this. Really is time to wake up. And there are some people who know for a fact they can intervene on certain things, but they won't. And this is where we keep getting that cycle of repeated behavior or that cycle of we don't care. Keith, what's going on, my guy? This is a problem again. Nobody should have to worry about having to bury no family members that are well under the age. Nobody. It's bad enough you do have some kids who are dying and leaving this world because they have specific sicknesses and cancers that is not allowing their bodies to grow and not allowing their bodies to fight off whatever. But when you got kids that are losing their life because of senseless violence, especially coming from quote unquote adults or even teens themselves, that's a problem. Gun violence got to be one of the main issues, in my opinion, that always affects people's families. You got some people right now, especially in my hood, still cold cases. These is cases that these was people that was known and loved in the hood, regardless to what life they was living, and they got it tragically taken away. And nobody, and I mean nobody, is even trying to open their mouth and say something. I can't sit here and say, "Oh, forever this one," or "Yo, R.I.P. Yo, forever this one," yo, and then I watched him die and I ain't do nothing. I didn't go to the cops, or I didn't even sit there and say, "Nah, I'm riding out for this shit." I'm sorry, when the innocents get hurt, even the young adults and the adults, the people that are not out there being a part of any type of illegal activities, they should not have to worry about losing their life. Still, Jay, what's going on, baby? See, again, I've always said this. Some of y'all are gonna do what you do regardless, even with something being said on a positive tip. But I've always felt this way again too. You want to shoot with people, you want to shoot out with people. Make sure there is no women, kids, or elders in the midst. Can't do that because again, a child gets hurt, killed. That affects everybody, including parents that got a strong sense of nah. They got a strong sense of saying nah. This is too surreal, and I got to do everything to make sure my kids are safe too. And then you got some parents who are neglecting the fact that even if you have a right to own guns, you are not being safe. Some of these parents, they losing their kids because the kids are getting a hold of their guns of their weapons, whatever it could be. No doubt, he's dead. You already know, my guy. I'm sorry, but when does the visual actually? When do the visuals actually take effect on some of y'all? There's nothing wrong with standing up for your community or standing up for the people in your community, especially when you know for a fact these people, they doing what they do. They living earnestly. They doing what they gotta do. Honest living, doing what they gotta do. And I'm sorry, I believe in karma, man. Child gets killed, elderly folks get killed. Trust me, karma comes back. Because if that law system don't catch you, the law of the land is gonna catch you. Or you might end up doing something to yourself or inflicting harm on yourself because you can't take the fact that your conscience is starting to eat you up. No doubt, bro. You already. And again, I'm sorry, but that's the worst thing to think about. Your child being in harm's way because people just not caring. Got to start coming up with better ways again to protect. We need to keep having these talks. And there are some people who are already out there doing what they do. The one thing I could always say is that there's just some politics that should never cross hands, right? Like in certain instances, right? How do some people glorify people who went to jail and came home for jail, right? But you won't congratulate and even show love to those who actually did something as far as they graduated college, they got their degrees, they building up businesses, stuff like that. The mentality is, oh, you think you better than me. This is where some violence comes into play too, because you got people who, again, assume the worst. Just because I might have graduated college, that don't necessarily mean I'm better than you. That doesn't necessarily mean I'm better than you. It doesn't. It also doesn't necessarily mean that I feel more entitled than you. If anything, it shows that look, I could take my time, I could invest in what I need to invest in, and in that same token, I could prosper and make myself greater. And that's a lot of times what it is. It's that ego, it's that pride. Like I said, that sense of pride that, oh, this person think he better than me because he no. That don't necessarily mean that. It don't. If I started a business and I'm given opportunity, that don't mean I'm a bougie sellout. That's another thing too. You got to think about it. Something that needs to be thought about. You can't sit here and think that because somebody made a better stride in their life that they way better than you or that you changed up. No, And this is what I'm saying. There's no way you can sit here and say that, oh well, because this one thing they better than me, I gotta try to stop whatever it is they doing. If anything, you should be congratulating them. Yo, I heard you got this, is that, and third. Yo, congratulations, my guy. Or congratulations, sis. We don't hear too much of that. We don't. All we hear is, oh, this one snobby, this one think they better, this one this, oh, this one must think this. Like, we gotta stop coming out that mind. We gotta come out that mindset and stop thinking that again. Everybody owes us something. There's some of y'all that could be making your own pathways, doing your own thing, if you will put your mind to it. And I mean, stop just thinking because somebody made it that they sold out. That's not always the case. Now, if I always felt like this too, some of y'all get jealous and upset because somebody has went from the same place you went to or the same place you came from, and they made their life better. Whether they had complete families or not. There's some success stories that these people don't have no real immediate family, but they said they didn't want to live a certain way. They didn't want to have to be plagued with, the ills of society. I shouldn't have to worry about killing my brother or my sister. I shouldn't have to sell drugs to my brother and sister. I shouldn't have to worry about doing anything causing harm to anybody that don't need no harm done to them. Sorry. What you want me to say? Definitely appreciate you for dropping those links, serious baby. This is something that we gotta come together on. Notice again, at what point do you say, all right, you know what, enough is enough. You're gonna have to ask that question. When does the violence, when does the self hate and just the hate of your people come to a halt? I'm saying, like, we could be doing a whole lot better than what we're doing. Again, we need to start teaching that you could get yourselves, no matter what part of the damn field you coming from, you can succeed in something. You could actually make something work. You got to put in the work. You got to put in the dedication time. And if you are that adamant or trying to change for the better, then you got to do so. You must do so because, again, you're trying to wake up not just the ones coming up with you. You're trying to show a blueprint on how to get it done. You don't have to go the same route I went to get to whatever success you're trying to get to. I can show you somewhat of a blueprint, and it's up to you to take the necessary steps after that. Give me 1 second, y'all. I ain't washing your car. You ain't washing my car neither. You know what, still, Jay? We gonna pay you 25 cents. Matter of fact, I'll pay you $2.50 for washing the car. Stop trolling over here, baby. No, but again, at some point, we gotta really come to a strong conclusion. Again, you can make things work even with the littlest ingenuity. You can do something. You wanna, you wanna make, you wanna make things work for you. In all honesty, who wants to be stuck in limbo forever? Who wants to be stuck on standstill forever? I'm quite sure nobody really does. It's not hard to elevate. You know? Nah, I don't drive, so I wouldn't know. The most people I know that do that still is them Ouija wipers and stuff like that. I see homeless people or people that's out in the streets doing that. But you know why they do that a lot of times. You know, same way they trying to get a easy come up. But see, I'd rather you try to wash the car than you try to rob me for my car. You know, but you have people who are missing out on golden opportunities, and instead of them trying to capitalize and trying to fix that problem, they quick to go to, if not the get rich quick schemes, it's I'm gonna rob and steal and kill if I have to just to get on top. You're doing all this extra stuff, and where does it really lead you? It doesn't lead you nowhere but down a dark road that you're not gonna be able to come back from. Once you harm or even kill not just the babies, but the people who are again not in these streets, they not active, they not doing none of that stuff. That's a problem. Exactly. That's one thing that should be remembered. Some of y'all trying to go hard and go crazy, all for the sake of I'm trying to do this down the third. Okay, but guess what? Um, you do know, you can't take that with you when it's time for you to go. You can't. Some of y'all again, y'all going too crazy for the riches, going too crazy for the materialistic things. And again, most of that stuff you can't take with you. Mostly everything you can't take with you. The only thing you can take with you when you leave here is your soul and your spirit, and those is not even gone. They'll still be in the world because people who actually loved, cared for you, and had nothing but great things to bring to the forefront about you, they're gonna keep your spirit living. They're gonna keep your spirit alive. See, like I said, it's one thing when you hustling the right way. And what I mean by that is there are people who are, again, prime example. Almost everywhere you go, especially in the city during the summertime, you're going to see a whole bunch of Mexican families out there. If they're not selling cotton candy or selling those, I think those onion rings in that bag. It looked like onion rings. I never really tried them. Some of them are going to be selling food, selling sweets, selling water, selling whatever. That's a hustle right there. Couple of my lives this past summer, y'all heard me saying, damn, it's the same family. They coming out with everything. Coming out with a shopping cart full of stuff. Yeah, there's ways to get money, and there's ways to hustle and hustle the right way where you're not harming or killing the people. Money is the root to all evil. But in that same token, it's it's really who got the money. I could be the richest man in the world right now, but I could be an evil bastard. There are some people out there like that. Rich and evil. It's like you got some who are rich and they won't do a damn thing or help any type of cause unless it's a cause that's benefiting them. Oh, okay, those are chips. All right. Because I always got confused. I was like, those are big ass onion rings. But shoot, they getting out there. They look here. Some of them are doing what they do because they can't even get citizenship the way they supposed to. Or they scared to try to go for citizenship because they think they might get deported. But I've always said if you've been here and your kids was born here, y'all American citizens regardless to what. You know, this is the problem now. This mindset of we just because we coming from the gutter, we gotta live like we still in the gutter. And the people that do make it, the people that actually do succeed in something, I don't care. Quick to say, "Oh, forget that one, f that one." They what they doing for us, and what they it should be a what they doing for you is a blueprint on how to move and succeed, no matter what your field is or whatever your thing is in life. They are teaching you something. They are showing you that it can be done, no matter where you coming from or what the circumstances is. There are people who have become well-known culinary chefs and they came from garbage. Do you hear me? Garbage. Like living situation, garbage, family, garbage, structure, garbage. And they found the way to elevate and succeed. Whether it was from people in the community that actually believed in them or them just believing in themselves enough to say, nah, I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to make this happen. And I'm sorry, but it really is time for us to expand that mindset of, showing greater positive ways to live. Some people decide they make their own decisions in life. If that's the way they're going to go as far as how they do things, then hey, that's on them because it's still a choice. But there should be more options and choices for people, especially those who probably still might be stuck in the middle. I know I'm good for something, but what is it exactly I could do? Yeah, you always get one, and you always get one sniped out. But yet and still, time to start being better. Start believing in yourselves more. I think if some of y'all would grow that courage and really siphon that strength up, you can get a lot done. Anita, what's going on, baby? You already know if y'all just tuned in, hit the like button. And if y'all new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. I see somebody was missing me yesterday. Oh, what's up, Tink Tink? You was missing me, baby. See, this is why, you know what? Man, shout outs. I just thought about something. This is another thing we got to start doing. Start using this internet for what it's really supposed to be used for. Not just so much as socializing, but networking the way you're supposed to network. bringing awareness and bringing a blueprint to those who need it. And honestly, when I say people need to do better, they do. Davis, even that one that just came in here, need to do better. Do better with your life. I know you was missing me all day yesterday. I know you was missing me this morning, baby. You must have finally woke up out of that coke binge. But yeah. Nonetheless, these people need to do better too. Because essentially you are still showing a sign of not danger. You're showing a sign of weak and cowardice again. No. Yeah, you know I had to do that. No. No, little think you was missing me. Oh. No. Even these people need to do better. That's why I said it'll be people who are really doing something positive, strong, bringing the right people together, and they hate that. We need to start doing more of that so the hate could be real. You know, you want to hate, you should hate everything that's messing up your society. You should hate everything that is killing you off. You should hate everything that is not giving you a chance to grow and succeed. Because again, if this is supposed to be the land of the free and the home of the brave, why the hell do we not feel free? And why do the people act like they brave and they not? Lexi, what's going on, baby? But the senseless violence, it does need to stop. And again, kids shouldn't have to worry about never making it home. Elderly folks should not have to worry about staying in the hospital, possibly dying from injuries because of senseless violence. Those things affect people in the worst way. Man, it does not. It does not take rocket science to know. It doesn't. To know that there's just some things that we know we can correct if we come together, put our differences aside, and show the people better. Take initiatives and taking steps that are necessary for your preservation of life, but the preservation of life around everybody else. That should be the most important thing. And we got to start doing this. We have to. You have to eliminate a lot of this nonsense out of these societies and out of these communities. And we're going to have to do it. There are some people who are not going to leave without a fight. Well, you better start fighting them back and getting them up out of here. This is why I said numbers are important when it comes to specific reasons and specific things. This being one of them. Because as long as you're not pushing out the threats in your society, they're going to keep growing and multiplying. Ah, I want to give special RIPs to those who might have lost their lives recently. And I'm talking about them kids, them babies, elders, the women who lost their lives through the senselessness. No woman should have to worry about being shot. Not at point blank range neither, especially while holding a kid. No man should have to worry about possibly losing his life and he's holding his child. There are a lot of people that are doing cowardice things. And they're gonna start getting called out. They're gonna start getting X'd out. I feel they need to get X'd out. See, I can say some people have become cowards. They have. Because you don't even see the fighting spirit like how it used to be. And the ones that are still keeping up the traditions, keep doing what y'all do, keep being a positive influence and a role model to those who need it, keep being a blueprint and a strength for those who need it. Hold on.
Hey, Nate.
Hold on. Why I didn't add you? Hold on.
Oh, I
Hold
hear
on,
you.
Hammer. What the hell? Oh.
Oh,
Yeah, my stream yard lagging a little bit. I thought I added
oh.
you.
No, I'm right here, so that's fine. To get to your point here, I'm just sick and tired of these shootings, man. It's like, you know, you gotta stop having your head. Biden just went to Maine today just to talk to the families of those 18 people that got slaughtered. Okay, it's no worse than here in New Jersey. When in New York one time, I saw somebody get shot point blank. So it's just that like I said the last time, if you see somebody having a day, talk to them. You might be the only person that might stop a mass shooting or killing or whatever that person was gonna do. If they have mental health problems, they shouldn't be having a weapon of war in the first place. So, you know, I'm just sick of these shootings, Nate. I'm really sick of it. It's like we're numb to this. But like I said, there's going to be more of this. And what's going to give? It might happen in your neighborhood, my neighborhood, anybody's neighborhood. My neighborhood ain't safe, even though we haven't had no mass shootings here. My neighborhood might not be safe from one. It's just, I don't know. It's just, am I making sense or not? It's just that, it's just a darn shame. You know,
Yeah,
something's got to give.
right on that.
Something's got to give, man, because we can't be numb to this. But like I said, you can't be safe nowhere in a park, bowling alley, movie theater, bank, supermarket, you name it, it's been happening. So listen, America, if it's not up to politicians to do it, we gotta do it our freaking selves because nobody seems to want to give a darn. But I give a darn. I want to live to see another day. I don't want to go somewhere where I have to worry about somebody getting a gun and shooting up the place. You know, it just is ridiculous. I didn't grow up. I'm glad I didn't grow up in mass shootingville. But I feel sorry for the kids that's growing up now, having to worry about if they're going to see another day, and that's a darn shame. Wake up, America. We got to do it on our own. Just talk to somebody who has a bad day, and don't let them start shooting up the place. It may be your neighborhood or my neighborhood. You're not safe nowhere. You know, it's just Uh, I don't know. I just feel bad for the 18 families who now have to spend holidays without their loved ones with them, and that's a darn shame too.
Yeah,
18 families gone, all because of this nut. He could have got help, but I'm glad he's in hell. Thank you. Anyway, you
yeah,
keep up the good work, Nate, and I just had to talk about this because I had to vent. I just had to vent on this. And it's up to you, it's up to us or the young people to say enough is enough. We can't live in fear because somebody's going to have a bad day and start shooting up the place. Okay? It's got to be up to y'all. Well, thank you for having me up here, Nate, and thank you for allowing me to vent.
You already know you're more than welcome, Hammer. You're always welcome to pop in.
Oh yeah, thank you, Nate. I'm just sick of this. The politicians can't do nothing. We got to do it ourselves.
Yeah.
It's got to be up to us now because like I said, I vote, and right now the voting process that I'm looking at right now ain't helping me at all. You know, the voting process right now sucks eggs. Like I said, I rather have Shaft and Superfly as vice president and president. None of these stupid politicians who say they're going to do this and that, and then they go and take bribes and just stab us in the back. I can't take these politicians no more. They all have their lives in the pocket anyway. You know.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, you have a good rest of your weekend, Nate. Have a good night. But like I said, I pray for these 18 families that's going to have Thanksgiving and Christmas without their loved ones around, and that's a darn shame. Peace to everybody in the chat there. Peace to you, Nate, and peace to everybody in this world. Thank you.
You're more than welcome. Have a good one, Tanya.
You too, there, Nate. Thank you.
Yeah, shout outs to Hammer Nation for popping in. Most of y'all in here are already accustomed with each other, but if you're not, even those catching the replay, the links that have been dropped, definitely show some love and support, especially the ones who are actually bringing something in, bringing something in. And again, RIP to those who lost their lives senselessly because of violence. That's another reason why families are being broken up, homes are being divided. I would stress this out more. Some of you women are going to have to really think and really get to know somebody in and out before you decide to take a step with them. There are some of these situations that are happening because it's either jealous men or it's jealous women. Men and women, be mindful of who you are going all the way with. Marriage, kids, all of that. There are some kids who are being harmed, hurt, and killed because if it's not the men, it's the women who are bringing new people into their lives, not fully getting to know them because they don't want to be alone. If I know I got kids involved, damn, fire department going down the way. My bad, y'all. No doubt, Kev, you already. But again, it should be a fear that you just bringing any and everybody around your young ones and you not caring. That's another reason why we have issues of kids being killed, kids being abused, kids being messed up in life. I'm sorry, but we got to come to that conclusion. We got to do things that are better. Intervene when you need to intervene. Not intervene, try to be Captain Saver like some people do, but no, intervene when you know it's right to do so. Like I said before, if you know you see somebody that's not harming nobody, they being harmed, nah, you got to step in. It's almost essentially like how it was in school. You had some bullies that, yeah, they was bullies, but they didn't like the ones that was picking on the weak. Those bullies used to be the ones that bullied the bullies. Now, you're not going to keep doing that. Leave this person alone. Stop bothering this person. That's what needs to happen to some degree. There's some people who are non-confrontational, whether they can fight or not. There's some people who are just non-confrontational.
They would rather go the peaceful route or try to alleviate a problem before they have to go to fisticuffs. We need to stand up for what's right, stand up on the right accords, and make these damn improvements. We have to. There's nothing being approved. Nothing being approved. No, my fault. There's nothing being improved when you have people who just don't want to do right. I would rather rob you and kill you before I try to go build myself up and try to help create an opportunity for my next ones. Gotta get out that mindset too. Again, kids are being targeted on all angles. This is a sad thing because now some of these kids again are screwed up in the mind, screwed up in the world, and it's crazy. There's kids being kidnapped right now. There's kids who are being sold in markets, all of that. It really is time to stand up for the right type of protection for the youth, for the elderly, and for the women. And I would say even take up for the men who are actually pillars in a community, who's actually doing something constructive or just, well loved. Because again, there are people that don't deserve to lose their life tragically or before time. Some of y'all just got this habit of, I could take a life and there's no consequences behind it. You might get away with it if it really is a self defense, but you're not going to get away from it if it's not a self defense. No kid should have to worry about being shot, stabbed, strangled, sexually assaulted, none of that. That goes around the board on all boards. Women shouldn't have to worry about that neither. Again, at some point, the people are going to wake up to this realization and start getting back to that golden era. You got some people who are patrolling their neighborhoods when the cops ain't. I respect those ones that are doing that. I respect them because they know for a fact they don't want to see certain harms and dangers coming into their communities, especially when they got families themselves. And I've always said if you are fortunate enough to have a family, your mindset should completely change from that day forward. Your kids should be the number one things you protecting along with yourself. Protecting your family at all costs. There's consequences to the actions and the decisions that you make in life. You're running around here robbing, stealing, and holding up people at some point, it's going to be done to you. Or you might lose your life fatally. Again, you have some people who had opportunities, even warning signs, to chill out, take a chill pill, and they didn't. But in that same token, some of them have lost their lives, some of them are locked up for life, some of them locked up for years on years on years, and some of these people be young. There's no way you're going to tell me you want to waste the majority of your time in the system that don't give a damn about you in the first place because you're being treated and used as a criminal. You think you really want to do 40 years and you only 19, 20 years old? Your life is sadly mistaken. Your decision is sadly mistaken. There are some kids who are out there in the streets already because they already done been wired and hip to the game. That's why I said there's some things that kids should never have to be around or all levels. I'm sorry, but this is one thing that should never be allowed. And I hope the people who get this tonight. Again, elderly folks, they should be off limits. Kids, off limits. Women, off limits. The hard working 9 to 5 men, off limits. If they ain't out there busting a gun at you or doing no illegal street code activities, none of that, they should be able to make it home to their families. There are brothers who have lost their lives doing what they're supposed to be doing to feed their family. And again, because you people are too irresponsible and too immature and also too emotional to think before you do, these people are losing their lives right now as we speak. Doing things that they love because it's time for y'all to stop thinking just one dimension. Think in multi dimensions and multi directions. Again, no mother nor no father should have to worry about not coming home to their loved ones, their family. They shouldn't have to worry about that. They should be able to go out in this world, do what they love, and support their family. But when you have people who are committing senseless acts of violence, everything from shooting to bombings to everything else, that causes a problem. Right now, there are kids losing their lives across seas because of all these wars that's going on. Israel, Palestine, all these other, they losing lives. Again, there's innocent lives dying because there's wars going on that don't need to even be going on. And what essentially are you fighting for? See, I don't tell y'all the difference between how we living over here and how they living over there. Some of y'all fighting and dying over blocks, territories, and areas that you have no type of will or deeds on. You fighting for things that you don't own. These people are fighting and dying for specific freedoms that they feel they should already have. Some of these people are losing their lives because they are fighting a greater stance. They taking a stance on being free to religion and everything else that comes along with it. Again, some of y'all dying for the wrong reasons out here. Take a look at their life and you take a look at your life. What are you actually killing and dying for? There are people who are dying because, again, they believe in freedom. They believe in, you know, believe in not just freedom and religion. They believe that everybody deserves a chance. Everybody are supposed to be, whew, I'm full. They believe that, again, they are fighting for a great cause. That cause, again, not just freedom of religion and speech, but just freedom to be a human being. Some of these people are fighting because they are trying to eliminate cancers, if you want to be eliminating certain cancers out of their communities because it's killing their communities. Again, you fighting over land that you don't own. You fighting over blocks, territories, neighborhoods that you don't own. These people are fighting not because of that. They are fighting and dying because, again, they are just caught in the war. Tanya, what's going on, baby? That's why I said essentially, y'all got the game messed up. Really got the game messed up if you really think that that's the way it's supposed to be. You losing your life over stuff that you don't own and you can't even take with you in the long run. Essentially, what are we saying now? That this is the way we gotta live. We gotta live like we in the wild, wild west. We gotta live like we less than. No, we're supposed to be building greater, being stronger. Again, we're supposed to be creating an opportunity and a safety net for those to strive and those to build. And the sad part about some of y'all that you don't understand, some of y'all again going ape shit, killing yourselves over property, killing yourselves over buildings and blocks. Guess what? When you're in that grave, those blocks are still going to be there. Those streets are still going to be there. Those apartment complexes and everything else you're fighting over is still going to be there. It's time to waking up and wising up to the real facts. Senseless crimes, they affect everybody. How many more families got to suffer and take losses that they shouldn't have to take? No, we got to set a better precedent. No elderly folks who are probably coming from the stores or probably coming from wherever should have to worry about a group of young men or women attacking them, robbing them, taking from them. This is something that is happening, and this is some young men and women, not all. But I honestly always felt like this. There are some people who are always going to be rotten apples no matter what you try to do or try to incorporate into their life. They don't give two shits. Because again, for them, all it is about pain, giving pain. Some people do things because again, their spirit and their soul is already dead. So in their instance, or in their eyes, you ain't nobody neither. If my life ain't shit, your life ain't gonna be shit. If I'm in pain, you gonna be in pain. That's not the way you should be thinking either. Some of y'all causing greater damages and pain because you're in pain. Seek the help that you need and go get it. Just like Tanya said, like a few other ones have said recently. Sit down and talk to somebody, you could possibly diffuse something from going on. It's time to wisen up, y'all. You know, we got to start being on this field more than we are. It's time to start getting the numbers involved because it's going to be needed. Because again, you're going to have things that happen that's going to affect everybody as a whole. And I'm not going to lie to you. There's just one thing that still kind of irks me. And again, the thing that irks me is how do you glorify somebody that goes to jail, comes home from jail, and still glorifying or doing whatever with street life? But you can't give love and praise and good wishes to those who succeeded in doing something different with their lives. Key element of surprise a lot of times, you be surprised the main people you think ain't gonna hate you, they'll hate you. The people that really should be showing you love and support, Some of them ain't. And some of them will stop showing support when they feel you either A, ain't going to do nothing for them no more, or if they feel like you just don't need what you worked hard for. Link is pinned in case anybody else want to pop in. I think I'm going to do a part 2 to this. I just wanted to break down some critical analysis for real. Again, no kid, woman, elderly should have to worry about losing their life. Again, you are not the creator. You can't take somebody's life and give it back. And even in that instance, you can't do that. If it's nothing that serious the way you feel you have to take somebody out, think before you do. There are some people right now who are losing their lives because you got people who are too scared and too nervous, even too jittery. So my thing is, if you know your nerves is bad, you know you're not really prepared or built for this life, don't put yourself in it. It is time for a lot of men and women too to start being more critical and more careful. Again, we just had a 16-year-old lose his life along with his father. Then we just had another situation with, you know, you got to be careful. If something look out of whack, out of pocket, observe it, analyze it, and see how you go from there. Because again, you got some people that this is what they do. They look and pray for somebody to give them that negative attention so they could go left and do something anyway to harm. But I've always again said that's the weakest form of cowardice, when you harm innocents that don't need to be harmed. And also the worst type of cowardice, I'm saying this today. Give a damn how anybody felt about it, because I really feel that way. The worst kind of cowardice is knowing that you know people died even in front of you and you won't open your mouth and say nothing. The worst type of fake friendship is knowing that your friend died around you and you didn't ride for them. I'm bringing that up today too. Anti, what's going on, baby? Sorry, but that's the worst form of cowardice. And I've always felt like this: if you're not going to truly ride or die for your friends the way you say you are, then you shouldn't be trying to quote unquote keep their memory alive. You shouldn't even be trying to say, oh, that was my bro, that was my sis, and y'all let shit happen. Telling, because ain't no real friend going to allow their friend to crash out. They not going to allow their friends to be in a dangerous situation. And if something did happen before anything or anybody could try to stop it from happening, they gonna really ride for their friends, one way or another. Sorry, but shouldn't even have to go on that level. Cause I feel like this: whether you in the streets or not, you're supposed to do right. And again, I can say I respect even those in other states who are actually trying to do what they need to do, as far as getting rid of the toxicities in the areas that are messing it up. Like I said to y'all about that story about the 2-year-old in Detroit getting shot and killed. That gangster had money up now. We need answers. And this is the award right now. This is the reward right now for it. We need answers. You got to turn yourself in. Because again, you killed the child. You think you're going to be able to kill a child and everybody going to forgive you? No. There's some people who are going to forgive. You don't have people that will never forgive, because again, look how far you went. You couldn't be in control of your emotions or in control of your thought process.
and you did something that you didn't necessarily have to do. Time to raise the awareness level again, start bringing back humanity, and again, let's try to build a better tomorrow. It's not that hard to do. Like I said, the right people come together in numbers and think outside of the box. Some of this stuff we could definitely change. They could keep it on that good road of prosperity and growth throughout the generations. I believe in that part. The question for some of y'all is, what do you believe? What exactly do you believe in? What things do you feel could be changed? What things need to be worked on? And if there's things that is already kind of being implemented or being done right now, but it's a slow process, how do you get together to make that process more grand, more successful? And see, the reason why we getting a lot of this senseless violence, because there are certain things that are not being presented. There are certain opportunities not being presented for some. And then you got those who are doing what they got to do. They building their own opportunities one way or another. I knew a couple people who just came home from jail. Not a damn dollar in their pocket. Not no near family member or anybody around that could possibly help them with something. And guess what? They took their own initiative because they believed in not being messed up or going back in that system. And there are some people that, again, they're going to keep going back and forth through the system because that's all they know. That's all they was taught. That's all they feel they ever going to be. But I would even say to those ones, you still have a choice and an option in life on building. What you want to build, that's on you. What you want to build and what you decide to build, that's on you. But I would say, in the same token, start building up the conscious morale. Because again, if a child is killed, a baby is killed, a woman is killed, elderly, even the hard-working 9 to 5 guys who are actually family men and doing what they got to do to keep their families intact, yes, they all deserve justice when there's acts of violence that happen to them that didn't necessarily have to happen. Look how many people that got seriously hurt, or they lost their lives again because they was doing something they love. Look how many taxi cab drivers lost their life. People who are making simple deliveries for specific companies. It's to a point now where even some people have to be more careful because all these delivery men and women are being attacked. People are ordering, they placing in orders, and then instead of them paying for their orders, nah, we gonna get this on the whim. We gonna get this free. See, I've always felt like this. Same way some of y'all could scratch up and hustle up to try to get high, y'all should have that same ingenuity on trying to get something better for your life. You already know, Davis, baby. Appreciate you for tuning in. Yeah, gotta get back to that. Show the world and show the people around in your community that change is possible. Change is always going to be around the corner. But again, the question should be asked: what exactly do you want, and what do you envision? I envision a world where, even if we are still getting certain crimes and specific crimes, hey, I would rather those crimes
Then crimes of passion, prime example, where people are dying, losing their lives over relationships and stuff like that. I would rather not see young kids dying from crossfires, abuses, so on and so forth. And I definitely would want to see everybody who's just living honestly to remain living. Goddess, what's going on, baby? But see, I forgot, and it goes back to what I said a while back. In an imperfect world, we asking for too much. But then again, we ain't asking for enough, and we ain't doing enough. I'm starting to see that too. I've seen some things happen. I've seen some people come on a lot of these platforms with a vision of this is what they want to do and this is how they're going to do it. And in the same token, got lost in the sauce because of drama and nonsense that's not even necessary. Your main goal in life should really just stay focused on the things that you need to stay focused on and trying to change the things you feel need to change. You ain't gonna tell us that though. Again, I'm not gonna hold y'all all night. Just mostly want to bring this out tonight because again, this is somewhat of a conclusion from this morning. Again, it's time for you, quote unquote, men and women, and I'm saying it like that because no real man is gonna harm their own or harm any other kid. No real woman is gonna do that. But you have some who feel they grown, they feel they know everything, and they are gonna be the ones that you gotta watch out for. Watch out for them because again, you don't know what they could be doing, and if they do got kids, you don't know if they're neglecting their kids or really abusing their kids. And when you see things like that again, start intervening. If you feel you have to call BCW or whatever, do what you gotta do. If I know I got a neighbor and I'm hearing constant fights, banging, so on and so forth, it sounds like kids are in there screaming for their life. Nah, it's either the cops are getting called or it's either ACS and whoever else is getting involved. Fuck that. Sorry to say it that way. You know, the problem with a lot of people in the communities now is that, again, they still focused on just self. Well, it ain't my family. It ain't my people, so fuck it. It shouldn't be that way. It honestly shouldn't. If you would allow any type of real harm or fatality to come to the people I just listed, then you part of the biggest cowards that even did it in the first place. You're part of that. And it's not about judging. It's not about throwing shade. None of that. It's just bringing reality to what it is. Cowards move cowardly. Real people are going to move the way they see fit. And they're going to move to where the people move with them. Really is time for us to get it together, man. Show the world greater, show these kids greater, show the society that we can be great if we actually stand up and rise up and fight. Still believe in this imperfect world, we can make some things become a reality and we could bring some perfect movements, some perfect building mechanisms, or at least great ones. Not everything is going to be perfect. Just let's really start strengthening up our communities one way or another. If we again want a better future, we're gonna have to be on this fight. We're gonna have to be on these battlefields, and we definitely gonna have to make sure that the people are being done right. But not gonna hold y'all. Almost time for me to go on break now, so let me go do what I gotta do. I mostly just wanted to bring this in, chop it up with y'all tonight on this. And I'm gonna bring a part two to it definitely. And the panel will be open in case anybody wanna chime in. But again, one thing we gotta start doing is eliminating that gun violence. Eliminating that player field because this is where everybody is losing their lives now. That's why I believe there's certain things that you always going to have some form of education on because again, if you don't, we'll continue to fall down here. Um, I got a few people I know I'm gonna be supporting tonight, so another reason why I'm jumping off kind of early. But for those who follow me on Twitch, I'll be on there tomorrow definitely. We're gonna have some good vibes over there, and tomorrow morning I'll be back for the site. Y'all know that. We always gonna have something to bring to the forefront. Um, Nonetheless, though, don't let anything I said bounce over the head tonight. It is unacceptable for women, kids, and elderly folks or regular civilians to be hit or put in the middle of crossfires and anything else because of emotional and irrational decisions. Gotta start standing up more, y'all. With that being said, let me get up out of here. Um, Again, shout out to everybody that's been part of this eulogy family and been a part of this growth. Without y'all, we wouldn't be where we at right now. I got something lined up for y'all at some point. So how I'm gonna do this, I don't know, but I want to make sure that the main ones are definitely here for that, so we can get the ball rolling the right way. Again, I appreciate you, Sirius, for dropping all those links, baby. Oh, it's another reason why, before I get up out of here, why we got kids and some people losing their lives. Drugs is definitely one of them. You don't know the effects and the severities of those type of things when, again, placing it in front of these kids to be harmed. Again, parents start being mindful and being aware of certain things because for all you know, your kids could be going through something. And not just on the physical tip, they could be going through something and not even know that they're addicted to something. Again, bringing awareness at all costs. You know, that's what we need to do. Time to get all of the things that are killing these youth, killing the innocents away. Got to start pushing out the positive, or you got to start pushing out positive and start kicking out the negative. Kick out the negative influences that are messing you up, killing your communities and killing your family. On that note, let me get up out of here. Y'all definitely always know it's a blessing to come and talk to y'all, and I'll be back in the morning for the site definitely. Tomorrow we'll be on Twitch shaking shaking the bomb bombs. So if y'all ain't following me over there, please make sure you do. If y'all was new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Shout out to the replay game. Shout out to the Shadow Mafia and the Shadow Babies. Y'all know what it is, baby. Everybody that was in attendance today, y'all already know that love is love and it be reciprocated as such. I don't know how to be fake. All I can do is give you real. That's all I'm gonna do is give you real topics and real bills. Like I said, y'all definitely enjoy yourselves. I'll see some of y'all running around in these streets. Go charge up my phone too while I'm at it. Gotta charge up my phone too. Again, appreciations to everybody that been here. You know, y'all are the driving force behind this tank. Without it, it'd just be a heavy tank sitting here. But we always gonna keep moving. Because as long as the world is turning, as long as we learning, hey, we gonna be on fire burning, but we gonna be burning for the right reasons. So y'all go ahead, be great, stay safe, keep your third eye open. Until the next live, we out of here. Peace and blessings.